Scaling that recruitment agency, when you actually sold it, how much did you actually sell it for?
Just under 40 million.
Do you think like retirement itself is just a scam?
Well, what is retirement?
Why do you keep going?
I think you also have to have purpose in life. And so I think that's why I didn't thrive at uni.
Because you dropped out, right?
Yeah,
you never finished it.
No, I never finished, no. I had 2 goes. Really understand the niche you're trying to serve. Focus of energy, time and resources. That's really where you're going to get traction.
What's the best advice that you've personally received yourself?
There's so much, it's really hard. I think...
In this video, I met Marisa, a university dropout who quit her 6-figure job to start a recruitment agency, which she later went on to sell for $40 million. Now, after an achievement like that, most people would kick their feet up and call it a day. But Marisa continues to run multiple businesses and currently has a goal of helping 500 entrepreneurs in the next 5 years. Now, I caught up with Marisa at her multi-million-dollar home up in Auckland, where she explained exactly how she used her previous 9-to-5 knowledge and experience to start what was at the time the largest private recruitment agency in New Zealand, and explained that starting your own business is not a massive gamble if you apply the correct steps. Now, she brings up a lot of very interesting points throughout this video and really breaks down why most businesses don't succeed. So make sure you watch to the very end to get the full value out of this video. Enjoy. Hello, hello.
Hey, how are
Marisa,
you?
lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sean.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah.
How long have you been here for?
Since 2012, 13.
That's incredible. Do you mind showing us around a little bit?
Yeah, come through. We call this the summer room.
Not quite the day for it today.
No, not unfortunately, but usually quite a nice view out there. And then we've got our glass pool and everything out there. This is what we call the winter room, which is the TV room. And then down here, through to the kitchen, here's kitchen. And it's
incredible.
a little bit messy. And downstairs is the office, movie room, and upstairs are all the bedrooms.
Well, and I noticed you got a lot of artwork lying around. Is that like a hobby of yours, or is it more of an investment type thing?
No, I just like to collect things that work that appeals to me. A lot of it's bought in New Zealand, exception being there's one there that's an Aboriginal artist.
That's that one up there, is it?
Yeah, Sally Gabori, she's dead now. But she started painting when she was 80. And why I like it is because it's a bit of a lesson in that it's never too late. And it's just sort of saying age is just a construct.
Yeah, I mean, starting at 80, right?
Yeah.
Now, you'll find throughout the video that Marisa always emphasises that it's never too late to start. She breaks this down further later on in the video when talking about retirement and why it makes no sense today.
This is a hip hop artist. It's famous in New York.
I mean, do you know how much roughly these paintings are kind of worth?
Oh, they range anywhere from like just a few thousand to like 30, 40.
Wow.
You know, so they're not a lot, but I mean, they're a lot at the top end, but I'm not really going in it for trying to make money on them. So I don't really think about what they cost in terms of what investment will I get back for them. It's just whether we like them.
You like it, yeah.
Yeah. This is our movie room.
Now, I was expecting to be impressed, but this house still blew me away. Having paintings worth tens of thousands of dollars, along with your very own movie room, is insane. So, I mean, can you briefly summarise what exactly you do? So just an introduction of who you are and what you've done.
In the early days, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I did a lot of sort of journey of self-discovery, I call it, where you end up doing a lot of different things. And then I landed into recruitment, and then I ended up starting a recruitment company with a business partner, Winnis, and she was great. And the two of us built this business, which I didn't realise was quite unusual to do, to take it to a big scale, which is what we did. Because
you became the biggest private recruitment company in New Zealand, right?
Yes. And then we were acquired by a big publicly listed company. So but getting to that size for me, getting to 100 staff and all that kind of thing over 10 years was a combination of, luck and timing and skills and hard work. But I think that I didn't realise that journey was so unusual until afterwards. Now, once we sold the business, I got an angel investment portfolio. Now where I'm at is actually what I'm really interested in helping women build really good businesses. And just teaching them the business of business. Where would you go to learn the business of business from a person who's actually done it, rather than, a theoretical thing in a business degree or courses and things you can do? What I always look at is have the people that they're actually instructing you done it themselves? Have they felt the pain of processing that weekly, monthly, fortnightly payroll and watching the money come out of their bank accounts, right?
Yeah.
It's quite like confronting. So it's that. And then I also am in business with another business partner, and we have a manufacturing company. And in between time that, I'm perfecting my skills as an MC. I'm perfecting my keynote speaking as well. So I'll be a speaker. I've got a book project. So we're quite busy.
I'm exhausted just listening to that.
But it's fun. Life is fun, right? Like, and it's a little bit like what I said, age is an artificial construct, really. It's just your mindset, right? So I kind of go, while you can, why not, right? As long as it's making you happy or giving you something back, you're not doing it for the sake of doing it.
I love that. And I mean, so scaling that recruitment agency, when you actually sold it, how much did you actually sell it for?
Just under 40 million.
And that was split between yourself and the
My
co-founder?
business partner, and we had also a CEO. Wow. But of course, the other thing that people don't realise is, of course, as you're building a big business, if the business is doing well, you're also growing your wealth while you own the business, right? So, I mean, we built this house while we still had the business because I could fund it. So your wealth's not determined by the exit necessarily only. It's also determined by how well run the business is and what you can extract from it, because surely that's the point, right? You're not doing it as a charity, right?
And then, so where are we right now? This is your kind of little office space at home?
Yeah, this is my home office.
So you've got obviously your planners here, your wall planner.
I like to visually just check things. And so what I like to do is just look at the actual thing physically and go, okay, how crowded is it looking? You know, because 2026 is already looking quite busy.
I mean, and that begs the question. I mean, you've done so many things. Most people would think, oh, just kick your feet up, retire, you know, enjoy your life. You know, you've got the means to do it.
Yes.
Why do you keep going?
I think you also have to have purpose in life. Like, what is the why? Why are we here, right? And I just get bored. And I think when you're bored, bad things happen.
Right, okay.
When you're bored, you do stupid things. And so if you're busy doing things that are worthwhile, you know why, you've got a good purpose behind it, you're not distracted by silly stuff.
Do you think like retirement itself is just a scam, or like?
Well, what is retirement? A lot of everything we do now, the way we have business, the hours of business, school, was all set up for the industrial age. Right? It was set up so that they could, school workers like Henry Ford could get enough people educated enough to work in his factories. And retirement was only that age because it was used 60 and then went to 65 because people's bodies were worn out. We don't do that kind of work anymore, right? So it's kind of arbitrary that we should just all stop at 65. It just kind of makes no sense.
So what's all this happening here?
So this is like, you know, our mission is to help women learn about the business of business. And then we talk about our values, vision, what we believe in. It's like a North Star, right? If everything we do is to serve this, then we can put everything through a lens and go, oh yeah, does this serve this purpose? Does this not serve this purpose, right? And then we can decide whether or not we do something.
And so I noticed you just had, just behind that, 500 women in 5 years.
Yes.
How did that come about? Is that just the figure you're throwing in the air, or?
I kind of worked out in 5 years what would be my measure of success. And if in 5 years I've impacted 500 women to be able to grow and build or have sustainable businesses, I thought about the ripple effect of that. The reason why I'm really passionate about supporting women in business, and I also work with men as well, so it's not like a linear thing, but I have this sense that women give back a lot more. There's this, as soon as they're able, or sometimes even before they're able, they will contribute back to community. And so but I worry that they do it before they're ready. So I'm like, let's get you strong, let's get your business strong, and then do the great work you want to do.
And how far into that are you in terms of helping 505 years?
Yeah, so we're 2 years in, or 18 months in. I've had retreats, I have workshops, I do power room coaching, I coach women. So I'd say it probably at this stage, we're probably just under 100.
Very cool. And then I see you got a few diplomas and stuff. So, I mean, how was education for you? Because
I talk about not finishing uni.
Uni, right? Yeah.
I think now that I look back on it, I didn't learn that way. Like reading textbooks and writing essays and listening in a big room of, lecture theatre was just not me. I need to see visually and show on visually and do it myself. And so I think that's why I didn't thrive at uni.
Yeah.
But also
because you dropped out, right?
Yeah,
like you never finished it.
No, I never finished. No, I had 2 goes.
Parents would have been worried sick.
Oh yeah, they were. They were not happy. As I said to someone else on a podcast, I said, I spent most of the time at the bar. The university
Love
bar.
that.
So it's not helpful. But for me, I think everything's been learned through experience and applied principles, which is one of the values that I have for our entrepreneurial women, is that whatever we teach you, it's got to be applied. Because I understand what it's like just to have theory at the front of the room and you really don't know what they're talking about. So that's what I want my female founders to do.
Cool. Where are we off to right now?
We're just going to meet one of my my clients. She came on my retreat a while ago.
Yeah.
And so we're just having a catch-up coffee. She's growing and growing and growing her business.
So is this one of the 500 women you're talking about?
Yes, This is one of the 500. I talked about her change of mindset after having been on the retreat. She was just thinking about her business in a different way, and then afterwards reframed for herself the opportunity to grow this business into something a lot bigger. And so she's just gone from strength to strength since then. So she's grown her team, she's doubled her revenue, maybe more than that actually now. So she's like a star pupil. You know what I mean?
Cheers, so cute.
I want to do more speaking and also I'm practicing the art of emceeing.
Successful?
Yeah, she's doing really super well. I'm just asking her, confirming, what changed for her after the retreat. So 2 things. One is she was saying just the changing of her mindset about her business.
Yeah.
And that she really understood that it wasn't just a business to give her a salary, and then that whole switch. And then even just changing the commercial terms, things like terms of business, and how you can structure payments differently. And in that, overnight, she made $45,000 just by changing the way that she structured all her payments and everything. And now she's built this business that's actually going to be a valuable asset, not just giving her a job. Yeah, and then the other thing she said was, I introduced her to another mentor, and he's been helping her grow her sales and revenue. And that's just gone amazing as well. Yeah, she's pretty happy, which is good.
I mean, let's just jump into the business side, where it kind of all started. So instead of starting that recruitment agency, tell us a little bit about how that all kind of came about.
Often we start businesses not because we want to we're pulled towards it. Often it's because we're pushed, right? And it's either you hate your job or something like that, or you want to solve a problem, right? So you just you get pushed into it. And so I was kind of pushed into it because the company I was working for at the time, it was a big global recruitment company.
Yeah. And
the issue was that the New Zealand revenue is so tiny that you're basically inconsequential, right? So you can work really hard and think you're doing really well and that you should be noticed. But actually, in reality, from a corporate view and a global view, New Zealand is minuscule. So when I had that epiphany, I was like, no, why am I working so hard for somebody else who doesn't even care? Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? And I was winning all these contracts and working really hard and writing all these proposals, staying up really late at night. And actually when I realised that no one cared, I'm like, oh, okay, why am I not doing this for myself? And so that's when my business partner and I, we were both working for the same company. We decided,
I see, okay.
Let's go and do this for ourselves. And that's what I call about being pushed out, because there also the environment, the culture that I was working in wasn't great. So, it wasn't a fun place to work either. So why would you work in an unfun place, work really hard for no real recognition? Like, why? And so hence leaving the company and starting out on our own.
But I mean, you make it sound pretty easy, but I'm sure there was quite a big decision to make in terms of losing that stability and everything like that.
You're on a 6-figure income. And
it's not bad, right?
There's a bit of ego involved too, right? You're the national business director and you've got a nice company car and you've got all the, trappings of it. But actually, in the end, when we looked at going out on our own, I looked at what the risk was. And why would you stay? And if I said talked about this sort of bad culture in the place, that the work wasn't fulfilling because, culture was so bad and high staff turnover and all that kind of thing. When you weigh up the risk of going out on your own versus the kind of staying, you realise it was an obvious choice to go. But you do look at your risk factors. So what if the thing doesn't make any money? How long could I last with it if I had all these costs? And so we did a really rough budget, like what would our office expenses be? Realistically, when did we think we could get our first income and all this sort of thing? I think when we did the numbers, I thought, well, we could last kind of like, I think it was like a year or something like that. And if it made no money, then what's the worst thing that could happen, right?
So you're willing to essentially sacrifice a year, earn no money.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, as long as I had the cash reserves and I had the thing to meet all my living expenses, then it was a gamble I was happy to take.
Yeah, right.
But bear in mind that when I say this, when I left, I had a network. People knew me. I'd been in the recruitment industry for a while. Now, if you're going to start cold and you've got no network, that's a different kind of story, right?
Yeah, right.
And so I say to people, if you're looking to start something and it's something new, you want a network build before you go out on your own, right? You want to know who your clients are going to be. You want to know that they know you. And so that when you go out on your own, you've got a client base that you could approach or a potential network you can start selling to. Whereas if you're trying to do it from cold, that's a way harder thing and it will take way longer.
So take a calculator risk is what you're saying, essentially.
Calculator risk, yeah.
Be smart about it.
Yeah, I just answered this question on TikTok. Somebody asked me a question, what would you say? I'm 20, I would like to start a freelancing business soon. I just don't know where to start, right? So I said, well, here's the thing, while you're working for somebody else, carve out some time to work on your business, right? Be really clear about who your target market is, what problem you're solving for them, how you're going to solve it, and really just focus on building that, but also build your network. You might want to go and do some pro bono work for a charity, so you've got a reference point, right? You've got somebody who will be a testimonial for you based on the work you've done for them. And then maybe the next time they come back to you, they'll pay you to do that work again, So you've got to start building reputation and credibility if you're doing this from a cold standing start.
Now, this part here is the key to her success. Already having a strong network prior to exiting her 9-to-5 put her at a massive advantage and definitely a reason why her agency became profitable and scaled so quickly. So continuing on from that, how long did it actually take before you actually started turning over a profit?
I think it was like quite quick actually, because again we had this network
had clients
but we literally, we were not afraid of cold calling. We were not afraid of getting out back in the day, the yellow pages, and just ringing the businesses out of the yellow pages. We were not afraid to do that. So
you literally just do that, just sit down with the yellow pages and
just start ringing people and go, hi, I'm Marisa from Madison and we're in recruitment and this is what we do, blah, blah. And we just did it and it was a numbers game. And we ended up being quite successful quite fast. It's probably not the usual story, right? We were, just because we were well known, we were good at what we did, people trusted us, we had a reputation.
So you essentially already kind of had the formula, is that fair to say?
Yes. So we weren't experimenting, and I think that's quite different from if you don't know what you're doing, then you make all the mistakes, right? And that makes it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Gee, that just caught me off guard there. The card is spinning around.
Oh yeah, we just want a turntable so I don't have to do 6-point turns.
That's the strangest feeling.
Anyway.
Perfect. So what's the plan from here on in? So back at your house?
Yes, I've got a call shortly. I'm doing a webinar next week and they're just doing a prep call. So that's just a half-hour meeting on Zoom. So yeah.
Perfect. Let's do it.
And around...
So, how do you think for those out there that are kind of, like you said, working a 9-to-5 and trying to branch into a business, like you said, a bit time poor, how should they approach in terms of when to say no, when to say yes, what to agree to? What's a method that you've potentially used to make it easier?
So, it's really understanding the purpose of the business and saying, what is the business doing? Why do I want to do it? Is it because I'm really good at it and it means that it just comes easily for me and therefore it's effortless, right? Anything that feels effortful and doesn't serve some kind of real reason for growing your business or something, if it feels effortful, then I would say think twice. If it's effortless and it adds to somehow the growth journey of your business, then that makes sense, right? But if it's hard to do for you and it takes up too much mental energy and it's just too difficult, don't do it. Don't force yourself to do things that you're not good at. Just don't, because it takes too much out of you. A book called The Zone of Genius, which I really love because there's 4 things. I can just break it down really simply.
Yep.
So there's the zone of incompetence, which is obviously what that is that you're just not good at it and you should never do it.
Yep.
There's the zone of competence. You do it well enough, but other people do it way better. Okay. There's the zone of excellence, which is where most people sit. And this is a really interesting one. The zone of excellence is where you've got to because you've learned how to do something really, really well and you're really good at it. But it doesn't come easily. It comes at some cost. You've just forced yourself to know how to do this thing really well. And that is where most people sit because we don't often think about the thing that we love doing as being the thing we should be doing. We're conditioned to believe that work should be hard. And so our mindset is if it doesn't feel hard, it can't be work. Right? And so we all sit in that zone of excellence where it feels a little bit hard, quite hard, but we're good at it. And that's where burnout happens. Now, if we're in our zone of genius, which sits above zone of excellence, that's where everything is effortless. When we're in flow, when we lose track of time because we're doing this thing we're so good at and we just love it, right? But because it doesn't feel like work, we keep going back down to the zone of excellence because it's got to feel hard. And you go, oh no, but that can't be work because it doesn't feel hard. It feels so easy and I love it. And that's not how work's meant to be, is it? And actually that's how work should be.
That's incredible. At this point, we headed out to town to Marisa's shared office space, where she broke down an aspect of business she is still struggling with, as well as her last bits of advice.
The things that I say to people who are starting out in business is the more you can niche down, the better. And the problem that we have in New Zealand is that we're such generalists and then when we're really broad, we're talking to nobody. So the difficulty actually for all entrepreneurs is to be really clear about who your target audience and really what niche you're serving and to niche down your business to talk to just those people that have that problem. You know who you're trying to serve and not be too broad. If I think about my audience, I talk about female founders. That's really broad. It's too broad, really. I should be niching even more. Like female founders what? Female founders at the beginning stage, female founders in, say, a particular industry sector, female founders maybe just needing what kind of help. So really, once I niche that down, then it's much easier to find where to talk to those people. And the problem is that when we're too broad, we're kind of throwing mud at lots of walls, right?
Yeah, like you said, talking to no one.
Talking to no one in the end.
But why do you think people are so worried about niching down?
I think they're worried about but what if I don't make enough money, or what if I cut out people that I could be making money from? So when we niche down, we have to say no to things, right? You know, say someone comes to you and says, oh, I'd love you to do a workshop for blah, 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 and it's not really the thing you normally do, but you do it because you're going to get paid some money. But then what is it taking you away from? So what's the opportunity cost? You're expending energy away from what you actually are wanting to do. And so that's why I say really understand the niche you're trying to serve, because then the more you understand who it is, then that's the only thing you focus on. And focus is really the big thing. Focus of energy, time and resources, that's really where you're going to get traction.
I mean, when you were starting that recruitment agency, did you kind of have a niche in place?
Yes, definitely. Our first niche was completely wrong. Right. So when we first started, we were like, when we look at it looks like they're having a good time, it's all the executive recruiters. They're having long lunches and they only seem to work not very hard and all this kind of thing, right? So we thought, we'll do executive recruitment. But of course, that wasn't our background, and certainly we found the pace was way too slow for us. We're like very fast-paced work. We love, delivering at high energy. And so what happened was we moved away from that and we niched into volume recruitment. So we provided lots of numbers of temps and permanent staff in a volume sense, and that was our niche. That's what we built into.
More the lower skilled, would you say, industries?
It wasn't really low. I mean, it was kind of support type work, data entry, customer service, call centre, wherever you needed bulk people. And we were really good at doing it in terms of speed but quality. And we built everything else off that, because it was a great income, revenue generator. It funded cash in the business because we had temps doing it as well.
Wow, so that's obviously an important lesson that you knew earlier on. That kind of
know your niche.
Helped you grow and kind of outgrow your competition, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is Amy. Female founded businesses. Business.
So, I mean, looking at you now in the next sort of say 5 years from now, where do you kind of see yourself going? What's the kind of path for you?
I have this little ambition to be the South Pacific or APAC version of Mel Robbins and having influence on female founders a little more internationally. So that's the ambition. We'll see.
Wrapping up, your kind of last piece of advice, what's the best advice that you've personally received yourself that's kind of stuck with you along the way?
There's so much, it's really hard. I think there is no good time to start. It's like you've just got to start and make the decision to start. And I think that's the hard thing, because of course we can all find the reasons not to do something. You're never going to feel ready. So just do it and you'll learn along the way. I guess one other thing is get great mentors or coaches to help you. I think trying to do it on your own is just doing it the hard way. Networking and having good people around you who've been there, done it, and can support you through those tough times.